It's a little known fact that Ray White did actually start in a very small country town in rural Queensland in the Darling Downs. A company that's been around for over a century. It's probably been most famous as a household name for the sale of homes, investment properties, and then they moved into the commercial space. But about 25 years ago, Paul White, a third-generation member of the Ray White family who had long had an affinity for rural life and living on the land, started Ray White Rural and then eventually Ray White Livestock, and today that's over 100 businesses in every state and territory in Australia and a really vibrant franchise network.
Well, my grandfather started the business back in the early 1900s and he was a stock and station agent. Basically, he started in a little town called Crow's Nest up on the Darling Downs, and he was selling pigs, calves, machinery if he could get it, and houses now and again and farms. So it was a mixed business, but it was very much involved in the rural market.
You could not imagine a more humble beginning. Ray certainly was quite active in the rural space. Ray always claimed he was the first of the Brisbane agents to offer specialist services in all categories, including farms. And I think it was that sort of credibility that he had in the rural community that was a massive strength in establishing a Brisbane business.
Ray was a character. He was very engaging with his local community. People loved to come in and have a chat. He was a sort of focal point. Well, the original site is now in the Crow's Nest Historical Village. We use it a lot ourselves. You know, we have corporate functions there, but a lot of our franchisees are now bringing their teams from all over Australia and New Zealand to go and visit the shed, just to get some real feeling of heart in the business. And that's what it does for us. It's our heart. Well, growing up, most of my mates were country boys and spent as much time I could out there. I had my own horses in Brisbane, just loved riding horses, and I took the opportunity to become a jackaroo in Western Queensland. And so people paid me to ride a horse. I thought, this is unbelievable. Ended up buying my own property on the Darling Downs with the help of my father, which was wonderful. And we ran cattle and wheat there. It was a great part of my life.
There was this great awareness within my family that Paul had made the commitment to be a rural man. Paul had this belief that we could be effective in rural, and there were some big brand names in rural, of course, but Paul just had this belief that we could offer family values.
The perception's the thing that you have to work on. There are 2 or 3 major competitors in that agri space in property, but I think people recognise that selling property is a specialty skill, and our specialty is selling property.
So it's country people that live and operate in the communities that they love. They know the farms in the area, they know the farmers, they know the purchasers, and I think it's quite a unique point of difference for us.
You need to play to your strengths, and I don't believe we position ourselves in that same space as our competitors, because that's not who we are. We are a franchise group made up of individual, passionate people who want to grow a business, and I believe that, above all else, and the fact that we're family owned, is the only point of difference you need to have.
25 years ago, we started Ray White Rural. It's grown now to the point where we're one of the majors now in Australia.
We're across all the states now and territories. We have a couple of businesses now in New Zealand as well. The footprint is to go right across Australia.
I'm extremely proud of what Paul's achieved and the relevance of Ray White Rural to the rural community in Australia has never been stronger.